Hello legends, welcome to our show. Today we have a very special guest, Suistar7, the only female CC for legends. Please, give her some love.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Port on World of Warships. And today we have a special guest, Suistar7, that has come all the way from Germany to come and have an interview with us. How are you doing today, sister?
Oh, I'm great. I'm glad to be here today. And how are you?
Well, I can't complain. I'm here with a beautiful woman, the only woman on World of Warships PC, well, not PC or console side that is actually streaming and is trying to improve the community and giving them tips and tricks. Funny enough, though, I've been watching a lot of your games, and I think a lot of people would like to know a bit more about yourself. If you would give us a little insight into you and what's your first steps around the gaming and the community of World of Warships Legends?
Of course, I started playing World of Warships in January 2016. At first it was just a pastime, but I realized I liked the game, so I also started streaming World of Warships on Twitch. By now I have over 12,000 battles on the PC version, and I've been playing the console version since the alpha. And for the Legends community I can give you 2 tips. The first is to start with only one ship tree, otherwise you will be poor very quickly. And the second is, if you want to improve, watch videos of good players. That's how I learned to play good.
12,000 battles, that's quite a lot. I don't think I'm not even close to 12,000. I mean, some of the community within the World of Warships Legends, I've actually seen some guys that has got like 13,000. It's pretty crazy how much time people put into the game. It's pretty amazing. But a quick thing, tell me, Suistar7, where did your nickname come from?
My nickname, that's an interesting story. My first name is Susanna and the nickname is Sui. All people in the real life calls me Sui. And my first boyfriend used to call me Star, and the 7 is my lucky number, therefore Suistar7.
Interesting. I think if 7 is your lucky number, I should be Rogue13, because 13 is my lucky number. Okay, sister, let's look at your streaming life. As a German streamer, you also speak English, and the German community out there, how do they react to English or German streamers, and what do they prefer?
Mainly I speak German, but when viewers come along who don't understand German, I speak and answer in English. So far no one has a problem with that. It also happened that I had to speak Brazilian Portuguese, which is my native language, and nobody cared this.
Yeah, that's quite amazing that you speak Portuguese as well. I mean, a lady with a lot of talents. And if I'm not mistaken, you're also studying for another language?
Yes, of course. Currently I learn Italian.
Man, I don't want to know what's next on your plate. You've got so many things you're doing already. Another question. Let's look at, do you have any favorite streamers or favorite people you like to hang around with?
Yes, indeed. Adlerwache become a very good friend for me. We also have a lot of contact privately.
I've also noticed, well, from the information that I've received, that you've also been an alpha tester for World of Warships Legends. How was your experience with, from the beginning? And do you think that you put a mini stepping stone into the game? At the very beginning.
At the beginning of Legends, I missed my sickness from the PC version because I really detonated in my ships a lot. Legends has its good but also its bad sides for me, as well as the PC version.
If you look at streaming and video on demand, what would be your choice? Of course, I believe it would be streaming.
Difficult question. With the live stream, I can interact with my viewers and respond directly to questions. However, with recordings it's naturally a little quieter, but I personally prefer streaming. Yes, streaming.
Seeing that you're also playing PC and as far as I understand, you're playing PlayStation that you're running as well, or was it Xbox as well?
Yes, I'm playing on PC, on the PS5 and on Xbox One.
We're not going to get into the console fight, but of course, which one would you prefer, let's say on a daily or weekly basis?
To be honest, PC. There is simply more to offer. Of course, I also like to play Legends, but the PC version is several years ahead of Legends.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, with that conversation we're going to have, I think we will have that in the future from this podcast. We'll cover that. Most definitely we're going to have to cover it. If we look at your main class of ship, what is your preferred ship style? And what's your main?
Destroyer, of course. For me, this remains simply the best class in the game, and I also perform very strongly with it.
I want to ask you about this, especially now that World of Warships Legends they just had their 2 years. We had carriers introduced into the game. What is your thoughts about the game after all of this so far? And is there anything that you would like to see in the future?
Legends was always nice for me because it was carrier free. That's not the case anymore. But I also have to say that the carriers in the console version are very balanced. Some ships, however, such as the Benham, have unfortunately been reduced too much and are sometimes hardly playable. However, it was nice when the German battleships have received a buff. They also needed it.
It's like you're giving all the right answers today. I'm not joking. There's so many people that want those two things. And hopefully Wargaming will listen. I know you guys will be listening to this. We need it, guys. You heard it as well. With the introduction, you being the only female streamer that I know about, how difficult is it for World of Warships Legends being the only female? Or is it even any difficult for you?
Oh, not difficult at all. Of course, there are always people who don't behave or make immoral offers, but in the content creator industry, you have to be hard on it for such situations.
Okay, well, we did a poll asking some people to ask some questions from the community, and we have a couple that I would like to discuss with you as well. Now, it looks like there's a couple of them, so I have to ask you a couple of questions and then you can answer, and I'll ask the second one because they made it quite long. And the first one is from Jason 4yes, and he wants to know, what do you think why most CCs or streamers stay mostly in their own ecosystem when it comes to interacting with the community outside of streams or YouTube channels, like for example here on Reddit?
I'm honest, many underestimate the time we invest in the streams and recordings. Not only do we spend a lot of hours in a week, but every now and then I spend 10 hours on a video production, which is 20 minutes on YouTube for the viewer. Unfortunately, there are also many people who expect that you are always available and accessible. So it is often forgotten that we also have a private life and are not around the clock content creator.
Jason wants to know as well what your overall opinion about World of Warships is. Now, you've briefly discussed that we need clans, we need training rooms. What else have you noticed that needs a lot of work?
In my opinion, and also from other CCs, CHE is still unbalanced. The campaigns I find so far good, but not always the ship selection. The arena mode I find absolutely terrible, who does not invest time without end, does not get ahead, and also the game mode I find a disaster. Rank should be, in my opinion, also times on higher tiers and not every time on small tiers.
We need those tier 6s and 7s ranked games more, and unlike like you said with the arena, I despise arena. I did the first one, but the last two I could not do. They were just no. Jason is asking if you would be the head of Wargaming for one day and could decide what happens for the next in World of Warships Legends, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. When I be head of Wargaming, I would implement a training room and also bring the clan system, which has long been desired, into the game. A training room is good for private tournaments and testing different methods for ships, and a clan system is important for the players. That's my mean.
I want to scream, really. I just want to scream. He's like, yes! Another question he's asking, and the most important question of them all. What's your favorite ship, your favorite build, and that is not the meta or a standard?
My favorite ship build was not the meter. I would say my Russian destroyers. Many try to play these with torpedo build. I go completely on gun build, so I play without concealment and skill the captain and also the modules for a strong main battery build.
Papanikolis. Now, Papa, you're not supposed to ask questions, but I'll give you this chance. He wants to know, what's your opinion about other numerous female streamers that generate their numbers by fans only, and other tactics that remind pink stories?
Currently streaming from the pool is very popular. When I see something like this, I can only shake my head. For me, it is important that we set the viewers like me, because I am simply Suistar, and not because, oh, this is a girl.
Papa is also asking how a skillful streamer devotes herself to producing quality content can stand against them.
Oh, that's simply. Just be yourself, bring your content regularly, and also various tips and tricks videos can be helpful. Most importantly, try not to succeed by force. Do your thing, the rest comes by itself.
There's one more question from Papa, and he says, how unfair, with all these female streamers that are doing what they're doing, how unfair is this to quality content producers like yourself?
I wouldn't call unfair, it's not nice in my eyes, yes. But in this business, it's a fact that some want to get ahead with skills, some with their optic or other advantages. Twitch and the other platforms is a hard business, and you have to deal with it all. If you have problems with it, then it's not the right way for you. And yes, I know, it sounds hard.
Well, Sui, I must say, it's really been a pleasure having you on the podcast. And I hope that the English-speaking guys that are out there will take their time and go and have a look at your channel and stay there, because I've been there, I've watched it, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love the music that you play. Damn, that's good.
I have to say thank you for allowing me to be here today. I hope my English doesn't sound too bad, because I have a Franconian dialect, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
So from my side, I would just like to say thank you for offering your time to us and coming along for this journey. And guys, please join us for the next podcast. And for the next thing that is going to be coming to all the warships back to port. Until then, goodbye, and thank you again, Sui.